Well, first of all, my name is Jonathan Bell, and I'm 23 years of age, and I'm from South London. Well, my experience with Street League obviously first came to my knowledge when I heard about it through the job centre in Mitcham, and yeah, they basically was telling me about this opportunity, and obviously I'm mad crazy about football when I heard about this, and I just basically wanted to get started. So, and obviously I went across, I met Frank, I met Zainab, who were the coordinator coaches, and they basically were just telling me a bit about Street League, and I was hooked, and it just basically made me want to join. Yeah. Well, I would basically say they're basically taking an interest in us. They're not just coaches, they're like family in a way. They're basically taking a very good insight into what you're trying to tell them. And they listen to you. And not many people that I've actually ever been in front of, like whether it's teachers or tutors, they've never actually expressed like the same sort of desire that you're basically trying to like show them. And yeah, I actually respect them for that as well, because they're basically a massive learning curve. Yeah. Firstly, I would say it's been very big. It's made me mature as a person.
Can you say the impact? So
the impact. I would say it's actually helped. It's actually helped me a lot. Because obviously, when you're growing up and stuff, you basically think you know everything there is to know about football. But obviously, there's so many different aspects of football that you do not know, and it opened my eyes to basically of all the areas that I didn't actually even know about. And obviously, when there's the side of coaching, which I wasn't really that much of a fan of, but obviously when they started talking to me about the areas of coaching and the playing side, it basically you've got two things to do. And if you really do love football, which I do, either side of the toss of the coin basically appeals to me. So yeah, that's what I've got to say about that. Yeah. Well, I was unemployed for 2 years, and it's just a horrible feeling. It's you just basically feel numb. I felt numb all the time, and I wake up and I always like to be working. I've always been a grafter my whole life, and to be jobless is just not a nice feeling at all. Because obviously I'm not one of those people that just sit at home, twiddle their thumbs, play games and stuff. I like to be out, out and about. I like to be working, coming back knowing that I've had a hard day's work. I've earned my money. Yeah.
So
before Street League, it was okay. I mean, I just finished college. I was in an admin job, but I knew beforehand when I took the job, because obviously I was working at New Look beforehand, and then I got this job, and I knew it was going to be a short-term basis, so I wasn't obviously getting my hopes up. And then obviously when the contract came to an end, they weren't going to renew it because the company was moving, which was a bit of a bummer for myself. And once I became unemployed after that, it just all like went downhill. And it wasn't like I wasn't trying or anything. It's just opportunities were very limited. Sometimes they wanted more experience, or sometimes they just didn't have the enough time for you. And it was quite frustrating for myself. Yeah. I think it's made me more employable, the way that they've sort of given you a platform. So they're basically trying to say, this is your opportunity, take it. We're not going to we're not going to spoon feed you all the time. We're not going to hold your hand. I mean, you're basically a grown up, and if there's something that you really want to do and you're dedicated and you're committed to the cause of what you're trying to achieve, then you will do whatever it takes. And for instance, me being on Street League, I get my head in my book, I just do all my work, and you get rewarded. You never know. Any other opportunities could come about, and I'm not taking anything for granted. I'm just going to make something of myself, and I want to take every opportunity as it comes. Well, Street League isn't just about football. It educates you. It tells you, all the bad things and all the good things about football. Basically, obviously, it's not just all about playing, because some players' careers can just end. And obviously, what do they fall back on? They fall back on, something to do with football, which would be coaching or presenting, etc. And, they basically open your eyes that, if obviously in football, there's no dead end. There's always an opportunity within football, and whether it's coaching or playing. Either way, you're always going to get the opportunity within the field. I would, obviously, they basically, it feels like you're actually going into a proper, professional environment, because obviously you go in there, you get your breakfast, they basically have it there for you and stuff, and they basically, they basically look after you in a way. So they make sure that that you're well looked after, and they basically make sure that you're, you're capable of being okay on the day. And then obviously we do our exercise. We don't just go straight into football. We do exercise first, and obviously we go to gym facilities as well. So we get exercise, get our fitness levels back to normal, and then we go out and do some football drills, and then we go into matches. So it's loads of preparation. It's not like an easy task as people may think. It's very hard, and obviously when you put your mind to it, you can achieve anything.
Part of the process.
Well, I've met great bunch of people. You know, some of these people I probably have friendships for a very long time, because obviously, you know, we were all like edgy and a bit nervous. Obviously, when we're starting first day, it feels like you're starting school for the first time. And you know, when we got in there, you know, I met a great bunch of lads, and you know, I've got nothing bad to say about them. Well, obviously, we have a lot of banter. You know, which is good as well. So basically, we don't take ourselves seriously. And on the football side of things, if we make mistakes, we always, you know, we've got each other, and we basically help each other out. If we see someone that's like made a mistake, we don't try and judge them or, you know, be judgmental or anything. We basically correct them and try and help them on their way so they can improve and become better. We're basically here for each other, not just yourselves.
Where are you?
Well, I want to gain some sort of capacity. I want to, you know, whether it would be in football or, you know, any other area that I have an interest in. But obviously within football, you know, I wouldn't mind taking on the coaching side of things, because obviously I've had experience within that, and that would very much appeal to me. You know, I just want to be employed again, and I just want to do something that I love doing, which would be involved in football. And you know, give me such a buzz, obviously knowing that you're going into work happy and you're doing something like that for a living, which would be very nice. Yeah.
Not doing it?
Well, I think if you asked me that question maybe a few weeks ago, I probably would have said very limited, probably 0. But obviously with the likes of Zainab, Frank, they've been a great help, very good help. I mean, they sort of pretty much skyrocketed the chances. Like, it's gone from like 0 to at least maybe an 8 or a 9. That's how good it's been. And you know, all the opportunities. I mean, and also you're never scared to talk to them. They're always there for you. If you're not sure about something, or if you want to gain something, you know, they will help you, but they're not going to spoon feed you. They will basically if you put the effort in and show them the respect, they will do the same back to you. So obviously, you know, you can't take things for granted.
Okay.
I would say when I was unemployed, you know, my chances were very limited. It was at 0, and obviously now Street League have basically, you know, helped me on my way. It's taken me from 0 to at least an 8 or a 9, which has, you know, been very, very, very good help, and you know, I'll be very thankful for that.
That you've put in yourself? Well,
they don't have to. I didn't have to prove anything. I mean, they didn't have to tell me anything to basically motivate me. I mean, I love the game so much. I mean, you know, just to be there, just to talk about football, be involved in football, any sort of way. I mean, you know, I just basically want to learn, and you know, this is helping me. Street League are helping me, and they're making me improve as a player and as hopefully a mentor and as a coach. Because obviously, I'm looking at all different. When I'm basically doing the training drills, I don't just go out and then play. I actually look and listen to Frank and listen to like the other coaches as well, basically just to you know, gain some knowledge of that as well. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I would. Yeah. It's helped me. It's helped me a lot. I mean, you know, when I get a bit older, you know, whatever other job I would think about going into, I would always look back and think, yeah, what a great help that's been. And you know, all the skills that I've picked up will help me along the way into any other future prospect that I've got lying in front of me. Yeah. And well, I've lived in South London my whole life, and growing up was tough, but obviously. You know, it's pretty much like obviously society has pretty much changed as I've basically grown up, and you know, yeah. I mean, I would say sorry, actually, being in South London, it's very hard to get a job, because once you get a job, like obviously, for instance, when I was working at New Look, that was literally on my doorstep, and that company was opening, and I went to the opening day, and because I was one of the first people to be employed. On opening day, I had that job for a long period of time, and I actually do regret that. If I stayed within that job, I probably would still be working there now. But obviously, when you go into something else, it's very hard to, you know, pick up from where you left off, because you can't just leave a job and go straight to another job. Sometimes it's not that simple, it's not that easy. And I found it, I learned the hard way, because I found it very tough, and it's still tough now. And obviously there isn't a lot of opportunities out there, yeah.